All right, YouTube, we are back for this week's episode of Take 10. I got my buddy, my pal, my local, Paul Butler, one of the Backpack Bros, with Matt Childress. I am not part of the triumvirate yet, man. I need to get my backpack still. So.
Paul
Oh,
Baker.
Baker,
Paul
not Butler.
Butler
Oh my
is my
gosh,
brother.
Butler's. Oh my
Is my
God.
brother from another
Oh my
mother.
God, my
Yeah,
brother from another mother. Oh, I totally. Oh, I'm so sorry, Paul. I'm so
it's
Paul.
all good.
It's Paulie
But
B.
but
It's Paulie B. I feel so
but
bad.
but Paul
Paul
and
Paul
I
Baker.
are good
I
friends.
even put Paul
I
Baker in the chat, even when I posted all this. Oh, I'm such a horrible person and friend. But
it's
yeah,
all good.
there's too
What
many of
up,
you guys.
folks?
There's too many of you guys. We love you both. But yeah, we're here with Paul Baker. He is a longtime card gamer. Back from like Versus System, I believe, right? Was like our
Even
first.
before that, so I was in Versus System at the ground level, by the way. But
Yeah.
like I've been playing. I started playing card games with Yu-Gi-Oh around 2003.
Oh my gosh. That's before a
Yeah.
lot of these people who are watching this video were born. Think about that.
I just,
There we
so
go.
sad.
I know. So, and I think we met through Versus System, right? Or was it through UFS? I don't remember.
No, it's through UFS.
Okay.
I wish I'd known you during Versus System,
Okay.
but no. We met because my very first, what is it?
PTC?
Pre-release.
Pre-release.
No,
Oh, okay.
pre-release
Pre-release. Okay.
was Cowboy Bebop, and we went
Okay.
to Rockford. We
Okay.
drove over from Kenosha to Rockford for
Yeah.
that one, and you gave me 4 Champion of Southtown.
Oh.
That was like a big deal for me.
Sure. So question real quick. We may have known the same people. Did you know Mike Giles and Mike Robinson by chance? They were in the Versus System community up there.
I do know them.
Okay. Okay. So that's who I knew.
Now, I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't say we're super like
Yeah.
close or whatever,
No,
but
yeah.
I know of them through that game.
Yeah, that's how I knew. I knew them through that game too. I was I was casuals with them, you know. I
Yeah.
just knew them through the game, so I didn't know if you ran the same Versus System pulls in everybody. So I just assumed you played in their locals too. So, but so Cowboy Bebop, that was a wild time for us. But I gave you 4 Champion of Southtown because of your favorite character is Guile, and
So
you know, just
you're right. You're right. But it's not even. It's so much. I'm gonna save it because
Yeah.
You're gonna ask a question at some point that's
Okay.
gonna address it.
All
But,
right. So
to me, it's like one of those moments where I consider like what my entry into other games were.
Okay.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and the reason I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh is because my baby brother, he's 10 years younger than I
Okay.
am. It was a way for us to kind of like bond after I moved out of the house
Okay.
or whatever.
Okay.
And so we would go play Yu-Gi-Oh together, and I'm like, wait, this is kind of cool, and I enjoyed it for a little while. But then it got to a point where, like, if you weren't playing like a Yada Lock deck, and every deck wasn't like the same 41 cards or whatever,
Yeah.
then you weren't playing the game, and it just became unfun.
Yeah.
And so I sold all of my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
Okay.
And then I bought what was then the first Mirrodin set. I bought 2 cases of it, got a bunch of great stuff, started playing Magic.
Okay.
The learning curve on Magic was so steep that I just was not prepared.
Okay.
But thankfully, Versus System came out like within a few months of that, and my local game store person was like, "Hey, I think you might like this game. Why don't you try that?" And it was like Marvel versus DC, and I was just like, "Yep, I'm down." And so Origins came out, and
Yeah.
I was on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh.
So, but when you think about this game,
Yeah.
you like my entry into it is like important because like I'm playing a game with a couple friends, but the community aspect is when you're like, hey, these are my 4 copies, I'm sending them to you
Yeah.
or giving them to you, and it just made me feel welcome into the game.
Hell
That's
yeah.
really what I kind of took away
Okay.
from it. Yeah.
I also have given that's someone else's story too. Ryan McLean in Vegas, he needed
Mhm.
caught red-handed, and I'm like, here, I got like 12, 13 of them. You can have 4 of them, man. And he's like,
Right.
really? And at the time, they were kind of expensive for an uncommon. He's like, I can have them. Like, yeah, man, you're good, dude. Just take them. Like, I don't need them. I don't need that
Right.
many. But yeah. So on Take 10, I have my friends, and I ask them questions because even though I know them, You guys out there in the community may not know them. Paul has just recently been minted part of Block Party. I think as of Louisville,
Yep.
is a Block Party member. You may have seen them. They have sick jerseys now, which is cool because you're not on a team if you don't have a jersey. And as someone who loves collecting jerseys, I may have to get one myself. But I don't know if that's in my contract with Jacob or not. If I can wear other people's things, so I don't know. But as always, we always start off with the first question of the night, which is not really a question because I say it's take 10, but it's really like take 15. The icebreaker question, Paul. What was the last thing you ate today?
I made dinner tonight. Hamburger helper is the last thing I had tonight.
What flavor of hamburger helper, though? That's the real question.
Uh, Beef stroganoff.
Oh, the
One of
OG? That's the
the goat.
OG, the goat,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, I haven't had that in forever. I was a fan of the bacon cheeseburger one. So, because I would
I like that
I
too.
would add bacon
But
bits into it, and it actually,
ooh,
oh yeah, dude, yeah, oh yeah.
classic. Every time I have beef stroganoff, I'm like, why don't I eat this more often? It's so good. It's
Because
so
it's
good.
not good
Yeah,
for you. That's why.
it's probably true.
It's
It's
probably
probably
not
true.
good for you. Yeah, I was the first time I ever had beef stroganoff. Actually, like I was from a Hamburger Helper. I never had it like at a restaurant or anything. I just
Hmm.
yeah. Slices goes. I was gonna say bacon cheeseburger got to be the OG. He would contest. So that's Nilo in chat saying that's two for bacon cheeseburger, man. It's two. But yeah.
Nilo.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Nilo, just got his first win on me at the last event he came to at
Hell
Lewisburg.
yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully he shows up to the local championship this weekend. That'd be really good to see him.
Yeah.
So question one: how did you get into UniVersus? What got your interest in the game, and what kept you here?
So I was on the downward spin for Magic. Like I still play Magic today, but I don't play paper Magic anymore. I
Okay,
only play Arena.
okay,
Um, but I love Magic. It's like for a long time been my favorite TCG. But at the time, Standard was like on like a 2 year streak of just being horrible.
okay.
And my favorite format was draft. And even the sets that they were like releasing to draft just weren't like draft friendly
Hmm.
or good sets to draft, or the quality of the cards that you get in them weren't really good. My local game store owner, Becca, she knew that I was like not really kind of like enjoying myself with Magic. And
Hmm.
so she was just like, hey, how about you try this new game? They release it's UFS. It's not really a new game, but it's like a
Yeah,
game that's been out. But they released some starter decks for Street Fighter. Was it Ryu versus Chun Li
yeah,
or
yeah. It was Ryu and Chun Li. Yeah.
okay, Ryu and Chun Li? And so I bought those two, and then one of my locals, Mike, he and I played together, and he was like, "Hey, if you want to get it, I'll get it," because he and I would draft Magic all the time,
Okay,
and so we had kind of like bonded over that. And so when I said I was going to get this, he said, "I'll do it too,"
okay.
and we started playing together. And then what kept my interest was when Becca bought uh, Platinum and
Okay.
started like sourcing some of the Magic, not Magic, the Mega Man
Yeah.
content. Now,
Okay.
that's if she really wanted to like rope me into the game, what she should have said is, "Hey, there's a
Mega
Mega Man
Man's.
game,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and I would have been like, "Well, take my money,
Yeah.
obviously." So yeah, so like basically, when I saw the Platinum set and how they incorporated all these different IPs into one game, that's the thing that really kind of like made me want to stick around. I was just like, "Oh my god, all these fighting games, all these other things, like yeah, no, I'm on
Yeah.
board." So
Okay. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
that's what it was.
And then you started coming down. We would see you at like Saturday events because I know like Wednesdays were a little long for you to drive because you were coming from like the Kenosha area or whatever,
Uh huh.
and so it was a little bit. So we always saw you on like Saturday events, which was always cool. And
Hmm.
then you were always known as the Guile guy, which we'll kind of get into down below in the next couple questions about why you're known as the Guile guy.
Right.
So question two. Your favorite symbol. I already know this answer, but man, they don't know this answer. Your favorite symbol and why.
My favorite symbol, coincidentally, is also the best symbol in the game. It's the good symbol.
Okay, one second.
Um, it is.
Before you continue, we got to pour one out for the good symbol for the whole year of last year and the year before. So
Oh
pour it
my
out. We're
God!
pouring it out.
If there were, I'll save it till when you get to like the UVS games question,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I have a lot
Oh
that's
yeah, sure.
unload
But
about
go
that.
ahead. Sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah,
but continue on your good
the good
yeah.
symbol is my favorite symbol. The reason why is I love like pretty much everything the good symbol is attempting to do.
Okay.
Be it in the pre MHA area era of the game, or even into the MHA era of the game. A lot of some of those things were consistent. The one thing that I felt like really changed was that good never used to get speed hate or speed bonuses without a lot of struggle. But like I remember when we got um, the Giro Foundation, that Specialist of
Oh
Sound.
yeah.
That was like the first time that I ever had any good speed hate on the good
Yeah,
symbol
yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
and that was like a big deal. But also, adding speed to good cards was never like really a thing either.
Sure.
But the things that I really loved about it is that the foundation and stage manipulation. I always loved that interaction. I love like doing stuff with the foundations in the card pool, and then like or them not costing towards progressive difficulty, and then it leading to shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
The discarding for really good effects and stuff like that. These are the type of things that I love to do in the game because like it always felt like I was netting value. I
Sure.
guess like if I took the a correlation from like Magic, I used to be a player who loved like graveyard manipulation
Okay.
decks because like one they're kind of grindy, so like and they can be toolboxy. So like I never feel like I'm out of the game.
Okay.
I always feel like I'm in the game, and I always feel like I'm doing something.
Mm.
Um, to correlate that to UniVersus, I feel like in this game, when I have the ability to pick up like attacks from my stage or
Yeah.
whatever, I feel like I have an extra hand. Like I don't just have the cards in my hand; my stage is also a second hand.
Sure.
And I love decks that allow me to kind of play in that style.
Okay.
So that became like one of my favorite things to do. And then, like you mentioned, my favorite character will kind of explain some of
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah. It's kind of neat, like how the good symbol. Like if you ask someone who's never like played pre MHA, the good symbol really doesn't really have an identity by other than it's like the good guy symbol. Like if you have to go pre MHA to have like an actual identity, like I think the good symbol now is more like block mod manipulation and free building than anything, and which is kind of weird because like pre MHA it was known for ignoring progressive, free building, block mod manipulation, and it did like card pool shenanigans, like which is kind of weird
Yeah,
because like that card pool shenanigans thing is like the air symbol like thing now, right? Because it just clears things from its pool. But like the good symbol gets to free build all that stuff. Well, basically because of Guile and Maxie's cards
I
do
would
all
say
that. So yeah.
I would say some of the things carried over, and
Okay.
then some of the things are like probably more prominent in the MHA era. Like
Okay.
for instance, the free build has been a consistent mechanic.
Mm.
So like I like to think of characters like Karishima One
Mm-hmm.
and Kurabara
Kuwabara. Yeah.
back from the pre. Like these are similar style characters where they both look both five handers both look to build free foundations, both want to pick up cards from their stage
Mm-hmm.
and whatever. I think another thing that's been kind of consistent is the discard aspect of it. So like pre MHA and even into MHA, we got like a one with nature, discarding for an effect, and then also it helps to block modifiers, or it's based around block modifiers,
Yeah.
like you mentioned. But also like when we look into the MHA era, we got any means necessary, we got raiding the villain hideout,
Yeah.
and then all of the discard bing bongs that we get for good, like a lot of those kind of like seem to be consistent.
Mm.
I feel like it's lost some of its
Identity.
identity, but it's kind of like maintained some of its
Okay.
identity as well.
Number 3. What is your opinion of UVS games and the organized and its I guess this is kind of weird because it's a two-part question, but it really should be a one-part question. What is
Right.
your opinion of the UVS games organized play system currently?
Okay, so um, I kind of mentioned earlier when we were just kind of BSing that I don't really have an issue with the organized play at the moment.
Mm.
I feel like the metagame is pretty healthy. Like we discussed, there could be anywhere from like 8 to 12 viable decks or
Mhm.
whatever. Even if some are a little bit more stronger than the others, I feel like it's still pretty diverse, and I'm okay with that. As far as like UVS, I think I have more critiques there because I've got to see two different spans. I got to come up during the Jasco era and kind of live under that style of management, and then live
Yeah.
under this style of
Yeah.
management too. And I have pros and cons for both, but like under UVS, I think my biggest gripe has been I can condense down to two things. One, two symbol characters, and then two, with the shift to attuned, um, the decision to kind of like um, weed out symbols, kind of like we were mentioning earlier. I'm a good symbol player. Um, and one second. Uh, my wife is
Oh, it's all good.
um, just reaching out. Okay. Um, yeah, two symbol characters, and then with the decision to like kind of like weed out certain symbols or whatever, or go down to just eight with
Yeah.
Attack on Titan, that was really like a bummer for me. This last year was the closest I've ever been to leaving the game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I don't like saying that
Yeah.
because I really like the community and I really like the game as a whole. But if there was ever a time I felt like leaving the game, it was this last year. And
Yeah.
it's not just because my favorite symbol is gone. It's just because like um, the decision didn't feel very community grounded.
Okay.
Like, if it would be one thing if like I felt like there was like this huge outcry from the community to kind of like eliminate certain symbols, condense the game down to just these eight symbols or
Yeah.
whatever, or nine symbols, I don't know what, and then say, hey, we're going to build the game around, or we want the game to kind of exist around these things.
Mm.
That would be one thing. And for the record, I have no issues with attuned existing. I'm not an attuned hater. I do think that the best attuned set was the Critical Role set because to me that's the most balanced version
Sure.
of the set.
Yep.
In fact, Critical Role kind of like represents everything I want to see an attuned set look like. There were three symbol characters. There were the ultra rares and the secret rares were like four symbols and
Mm.
three
Mhm.
symbols, and then like the rares and below were all a single symbol attuned, or in some instances symbol attuned. I
Uh,
think there were a few foundations that
they
were like that.
they were double symboled attacks, and they
Yeah,
were regular symbols. The double symbol attuned foundations didn't come into AOT3.
that's what it was. Okay, all right. Well, at either rate, I felt like Critical Role kind of captured everything I would like to see.
Hmm.
Also, it spread out a little bit wider because it encompassed nine symbols
Yeah.
instead of eight, like or
It
six
was six. Yeah, we had
that
three whole symbols. Yeah.
Attack on Titan.
Yep.
So I was much more appreciative of the diversity of that set. Now, I guess the one claim that I would make is that that set doesn't feel as powerful as the other or product that's out
Yeah.
in Attack on Titan, but that's the balance that I like or
Mm.
whatever. But all in all, my I guess my just overall feeling was the game was changing at a level that did not seem to have me in mind as a player
Yeah.
or me in mind as a customer. Um, I made a huge post about this, like
Oh yeah,
in the
I
UVS,
remember that. Yeah, I remember you posted about
and,
it.
and
Yeah.
I don't feel like I often complain. Like when we're just like
Yeah.
I just show up to have fun, you know me.
Yeah.
And so like for me to make that post, it felt like it was weighing heavy on my mind and
Mm.
my heart at the
Mhm.
time. But the central aspect is like I went from buying almost a case every single set to buying like maybe onesies and twosie boxes for Attack
Yeah.
on Titan 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I think Critical Role was the first time that I bought like more than a box.
More than a
I
box.
think I bought like four, or maybe even a full case at this point.
Okay.
But and then TMNT, oh, this is another full circle moment.
Okay.
Earlier, uh, when I talked about going to that pre-release, the Cowboy Bebop pre-release, on the way home, me, Becca, and some of my other friends, we were all talking about what would be cool to see in this
Oh,
game,
sure.
what IP,
Yeah.
and the IP that we all agreed on was Teenage Mutant
Ninja
Ninja Turtles.
Turtles.
So,
Yeah.
see, so like coming full circle to that moment of seeing TMNT be announced, that was a big deal for me because it just reminds me of all my fondest memories
Mm.
of being in this game, the
Mm.
community aspect of the game,
Mhm.
and then like my wish list, it was on my wish
Oh
list,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it finally got fulfilled.
Yeah.
So I guess while I'm levying out some criticisms of UVS, I do want to say they have kind of like done some things that I think are really good too.
Okay.
So like achieving that set was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Whether I feel like the set is great, I don't think it's as good as like a Critical Role, which is I think my favorite set of the year.
Okay.
But it is a product that I've long wanted to be in the game, and I'm very happy that they got it in the game.
Mhm.
The art looked amazing. The character alts were awesome. The ooze alts were awesome.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff was really cool. But even in that set, the one set where they kind of like champion, hey, good symbol is coming back in this set,
Yeah.
it felt like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Um, like everything the good set is doing in that set, it's not doing anything that's cohesive. It
Sure.
doesn't feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess my overall feeling is that UVS is doing a pretty good job with the gameplay and the organized play. I don't have any issues there. I think I have more issues with how they choose to deliver the product and how they choose to decide what
Okay.
product is going to go out.
Okay.
Now, the last thing I'll say about that is that I'm really excited for the six sets that they have on the roadmap for
Oh
2026.
yeah. Yeah.
I love the package that they put out for that. I want to see more of that type of thing happen because it really got me excited
Okay.
to kind of look forward to those
Hell yeah.
products. And I'm also happy to see more fighting games kind of come back into the fold.
Mm.
Whether that be other people's cup of tea or not, I'm excited about those IP, and so I'm glad to see them here.
So
I just
bef-
want to see more of the symbols go back into being proliferated in the
no,
game.
I
Yeah.
totally agree. I agree. Uh, so out of the roadmap, before we move on to the next question, what's the set? What is the IP that got you the most hype out of that roadmap? Granted, if it's a set or a challenger deck.
I think the one that I'm most Street Fighter is a set that I'm looking forward to the most
Yeah.
because it'll be another full circle moment for me. The first product I bought
Yeah.
for UFS was Street Fighter product,
Yeah.
and then going back to that IP feels like a big deal.
Okay.
So that's the product.
Hell yeah.
All of them got me excited because I wasn't expecting everything on the list. So
Yeah.
obviously I feel like another full circle moment for a lot of other players might be the King of Fighters. That's so hype. So hype.
That was my
Yeah.
first set. King of Fighters 13 was my first set that I ever bought into in the game. Uh,
Nice.
so yeah, like I am super excited for that. I know it's just a challenger deck, and we're only getting 6 characters or whatever, and
Right.
it's free Rock, free Andy, free Mai, but like it's none of the. It's not my Terry, Andy, Joe, who I know. It's other characters, right? Which is cool. I'm still down. I'm still gonna buy it. I'm still gonna enjoy it. I think. And that's going to be illegal for Worlds, which is so crazy that it's going like we're gonna have a product come out in January that's going to be legal at Worlds, kind of like at Nationals when we had Sung Jin Woo come out and he was legal
Yeah.
at Nationals, and it was
The
just
world.
it's
Yeah.
so crazy. It was just I don't know. So moving
I'm
on.
not.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I see
ahead.
a lot of people sad about the characters that are not included in that KOF,
Yeah.
and I understand them, but I'm not sad about the characters that we're getting. It
Yeah.
also kind of like makes me hopeful that we're going to get more stuff for KOF down the road.
Down the road.
So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with that.
Yep. I think a good rule of thumb is that if it's a challenger deck, there's a chance it's going to be a set. So,
Yep.
and I'm cool with that.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
question 4. What's your favorite IP in our game?
Ooh, Mega Man, of course, is the greatest IP to ever exist in any game. Is Mega Man. Yeah, Mega. I'm a huge Rockman fan, so
Okay.
for me, when I got to play Mega Man for the first time in this game, I was really excited about that, especially because like getting to see Mega Man characters do like fatalities or do
Oh,
that's really the draw.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
See Mega Man do a Shoryuken or
yeah,
whatever, even
yeah,
though he can already do that in Smash Bros or
yeah,
whatever. But like
yeah.
that type of stuff is kind of cool to me. It's like
Okay,
the merging of these worlds.
yeah.
But yes, Mega Man is easily my favorite.
So, did you ever get? So when we had PTCs in Rockford, did you ever get to play in the Robot Masters events, where it would be it was called the Rockford PTC Robot Masters Invitational, and you had to play
No.
a Robot Master, and the winner of that tournament would play against me playing Mega Man, who auto stacked every copy of who auto stacked every version of Mega Man, and I would just be like this giant boss battle. And to be fair, JJ and Barrett figured out the sauce. It was just Gemini Man who beat the shit out of me. But
Oh
it was
yeah.
cool though. And like it was wild because everyone would pull out these crazy decks. Like we'd have an Iceman deck. We'd have Gutsman and Crashman, and everyone would play the Robot Masters. You couldn't play Dr. Wily, you couldn't play Proto Man, you couldn't play Mega Man. You couldn't play like the non-Robot Masters. And Robot Masters, the card was technically legal, I believe, in almost every deck possible. So because of the symbols cross so much. But yeah,
Right.
it was a wild event, and we had a playmat made out of it because Tam cosplayed as Dr. Wily at an event once, and I had a picture of him, and I put that on a playmat, and that was like the first Robot Masters Invitational mat. So I wish like
That's awesome.
we really should see, because like that's kind of like akin to Spotlight, but it's not Spotlight. It's just you have to use this IP's characters, and your deck can be anything you want, right? So
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that may be something we may have to try locally, just as like the fresh, like in between like our set seasons. Like we'll do like a weird thing. Hey, no blocking, AJ's, how's it going? But yeah, I know you would be so hyped if we got Mega Man back, and
That would be like the one set that if they announce it is coming back into the game, I
mm-hmm,
would be over the moon about that one. The one, so I did not attend any of those events. I would have loved to, but
yeah,
I don't think I was in the game at the time.
okay,
The first event I came to after my pre-release was a PTC at Rockford,
okay.
and I was playing Cutman, surprisingly,
Surprisingly,
and
yeah.
I got banned unfortunately after
Oh, that's
round two
right. I
because
remember you had a banned card in your deck. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I had a banned card or rotated card in my
rotated
deck,
cards.
and
Yeah.
then I was so sad because I was doing well. I was like 2 or 3-0 going into, and this is my first event. I'm doing really good, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this card," because it was on stream. Somebody was like, "Is that card legal?" And I'm like, now, mind you, I didn't know
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
time,
to be
so
fair,
it
yeah.
was yeah, but I still had a lot of fun,
Yeah.
you know. And so
You kept coming back, so that's the thing.
RIP RIP my boy Cutman,
RIP
you know.
Cutman. So moving on, because we talked about your favorite symbol, we talked about your favorite IP. What's your favorite mechanic in the game?
Ooh, favorite mechanic. Um, Probably reversal is
Okay.
my favorite mechanic.
Okay.
And you know, I've played a fair bit of reversals in my time as a Guile
Yes,
player.
you have.
So,
Yep.
um, and I just like because to me, um, when I was told that the game was like basically a meeting ground for every fighting game to kind of duke it out
Mhm.
or whatever, I'm like, okay, how will they represent the mechanics of these varying fighting games into an actual game? Multiple is a really cool mechanic that kind of like represents like some of those features of people like creating after images or ult going ultra or whatever because
Yeah.
like it looks like the shadows
Yeah.
of those
Yep.
characters.
Mhm.
And so I really love that concept, but reversal is something that is so unique to fighting games that you wouldn't expect to see it anywhere else. So the
Mhm.
fact that I get to see that in a card game was awesome to me. Yeah.
I think I know, like, because me and you, we love to play retro when after we're done playing our standard deck. So we have like the what I love to call the reversal off, which is
Yes.
me playing Fumasil Fatal Violet into whatever Flash Kick Soul Trap garbage you play at me all the time. And it's not fair because you have Soul Trap and you're like, no, you don't get to play that reversal. And that's sad because I always want to kill people with Fatal Violet. But yeah, I
Well,
just
I can't have 46 damage coming at me on my turn.
I know. I'm
That's
sorry.
not what I want.
I want you to stop attacking me, and I'm going to present lethal to you on your turn. Is what I do. But
Hmm.
yeah, but like I do think like just as a tangent, like I do think like because we have a retro event coming up, and the Stark Dark event, which I'm going to talk about at the end of the show, they're going to have a retro event. So do you like that Rochester Retro just as a format is picking up more than old retro? Because like, people would try to play old retro and no one would do it, but like Rochester Retro kind of is that middle ground to where it's just standard rules with character stacking, right? That's all it is.
Yeah.
And I think people like it. And obviously the events have shown up. Like at Nationals, there was 90 players. People are playing pickup retro games. Like we play pickup retro games all the time. We're having our second retro event in November. What are your thoughts on the Rochester Retro format as a whole? And do you think it's going to just get bigger going forward?
Yeah. So one, I love Rochester Retro. Actually, like it more than I like original retro, and much that may be to the chagrin of people who love original retro. Rob, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
Rob.
I know, right?
But like, even though I came up under the original retro, and there are still things I love about that. I love something about the blended version of Rochester Retro offers where it feels like some of the old mixed with some of the new,
Mm,
and it feels like a format that makes sense.
mm,
Also, I feel like it's done a lot of us using Rochester Retro to actually get current standard players to want to play
mm-hmm.
in the older formats.
Correct.
Way more than it's been for any other or the original retro.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many times like we've had people turn us down for retro events because like it felt like it was a different game. It felt like the learning curve was too steep, and it felt like access to those cards
Yeah.
um, was much harder to gain access to. But with Rochester Retro, a lot of those things have kind of been alleviated. Now, as far as like where do I think it's going for the future, I talked to Sean about this when I was in Kentucky,
Okay.
and we just like sat down and had a conversation about Rochester Retro. I was one kind of big upping it, like saying, "Hey, I really appreciate that you guys have made this format," and talked about, you know, is there any opportunity for like UniVersus as a game to kind of pick this up? He didn't kind of give me any answer one way or the other on that,
Yeah.
but he did say that he's kind of been like focusing on the data, just like seeing how big the events get,
Mm-hmm.
and then he says he wants to kind of create some type of event where it's just like straight retro to see if those numbers can match the Rochester retro numbers,
Okay.
and I would be interested to see what that looks like too.
Okay.
But I think that it can only get bigger from here because more and more standard players keep gravitating towards Rochester Retro because now they see that there's this huge card pool of cards that they get to add, and
Mm.
they get to like especially for people who love to brew new ideas.
Yeah.
Like I think about our Milwaukee guys. Cole and Sammy are always coming to me with
Okay. Yeah.
new
Yeah.
deck ideas that
Yeah.
they have,
Yeah.
and it warms my heart. It really does
Okay.
because I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and flash kick that, whatever that new thing is that you're
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that.
You get to
So
teach
I think it's gonna get bigger.
you get to teach the youngins how to play reversals properly. Yeah. You know.
Hey,
Yeah.
eh, who better to do it?
I don't know, man. I just say like
Not all heroes wear capes.
uh,
Is all I can say.
I mean, the best hero just has two ninja blades, and she kicks all reversals out of the card pool before you even get to play them. So that's all I have to say. So yes,
I just feel like you got a thing for ninja ladies in general. My
and
fellow, my brother.
I got a type, man. I got a type. No blocking in chat would definitely agree with me on that one. I have a type. So
Yeah.
all right, question 6. We kind of touched on this in the pregame. Um, so, what are your thoughts on how UVS games can improve their local organized play program, like promos, events, X, Y, and Z?
Um, I guess for local, I've not been a big fan of the scrambles. I know that they're geared towards like trying to have a place for new players and newcomers to the game to kind of have like an entryway and incentive to kind of like join with the promos that they get from that event. But I don't know that they're doing what they're setting out to do. I feel like just by nature of us having like regular locals on Wednesday, we've attracted more people through that than we
Mm.
ever have through any scrambles that
Mm-hmm.
we have done. Also, like I felt like probably extending out the number of local championships would be a good step in the right direction for people who are struggling. Because like I feel like we're very fortunate. We live in a region where we can just scoot up to Milwaukee or come to our locals in Illinois, and between them, we'll get enough LCs in that we can get qualified
Yeah.
for an event. Whereas I felt like not every player, in fact, most players probably aren't in a good regional situation to where they can do that.
Yeah.
Um, and I kind of like feel bad for those guys because I'm like, if they don't have the access to or have extra opportunities to qualify, it just kind of like minimizes the opportunity that they're going to stay in the game long term.
Mm.
I feel like that's really what we need to do is we need to kind of like and I say we, I'm talking about UVS games.
Yeah.
What UVS games should be focusing on is all right, we have a consistent player base. We need to see what we can do best to kind of like maintain them and incentivize them, and then kind of like look at growing from that point on.
Mm.
Because I think that a lot of what has been done seems to be like, for instance, a lot of the rule changes and things that they kind of like put out. Remember that big push to say we want to. We're trying to worry about the mental load or whatever for the
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, and so the thought process was we're going to try to like dampen down the amount of mental load that we build into the cards themselves. And I'm like, that's good for the new player, maybe. I don't even know that that's going to be helpful for the new player because at the same time that they're doing that, they're constantly coming out with other new mechanics and other new
Correct.
features or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like they literally put that out right around the time that they said that they were going to be introducing a tune,
Yeah.
and I felt like that was like probably the most confusing thing
Yeah.
for
Exactly.
newcomers to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess like to me, if the focus was like, hey, what can I do to make things more convenient for my existing player base as a company, and then like focus our attentions on that, then kind of like look at what we can do for outreach or whatever, that would be helpful. So I'm not sad that they do stuff like scrambles. I just think that whatever the approach needs to be, it needs to be something that is easier for us to implement and something that's going to be more um, eye catching for newcomers to the
Sure.
game.
Sure. Because I
Yeah.
know, like we
So those
talked,
are my thoughts.
because we kind of talked in pregame where like scrambles are kind of worthless because the promos aren't great. Like they have to make the promos worth the squeeze. They have to make the juice worth the squeeze, right? To pardon to
Uh-huh.
coin the phrase. And currently, right now, scrambles are just not worth it because it's just a glorified local, right? And if they did change that back to how we used to have two LCs a season, then the juice is worth the squeeze to show up for whatever promos there are because you're gunning for worlds points or whatever points there's available or whatnot. So, um,
Right.
so
I guess I can see the counter for from their perspective is
mhm.
probably like if they do that, then the existing spikes in the game are probably going to gobble up all the promos or
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
But
Yeah.
um, oh, I'm sorry. One last thing
You're
that
good.
I feel like that UVS
No, you're fine.
really needs to do
Yeah.
is the starter product has to be better. So like starter decks need to be. I think the Tekken level Challenger Series decks is about the threshold that they
Oh,
have to be
sure,
at.
sure.
The last few actual starter decks, not Challenger Series decks, the TMNT one, the two that they released for
Oh, Attack on
Attack
Titan
on Titan or
and
whatever,
the Critical Role ones. Yeah, yeah,
and the Critical Role ones, like
yeah,
who are these for? I
yeah,
don't understand who the product is for. Like, I'm not saying it needs to be geared towards existing players,
yeah,
but I don't even think that they live up to new. Like, a new player couldn't buy one of those products, come to our locals, and then like not feel soul crushingly bad after
yeah.
they play.
Sure,
Especially if this is like one of their favorite characters or whatever.
sure.
Like, I wouldn't want to sit down with 22 life Percy, six-hander Percy, or
Yeah,
22 life six-hander TMNT character or whatever,
yeah,
15 life of those other characters. Like, though, that product to me has to be just done away with. I feel like the June and Gen decks are about the level of what starter
Sure.
deck quality should be
Oh yeah.
for new players who enter in the game. And that, yeah, that to me is like one of the things that I would change. If I was a emperor or CEO at UVS Games
Yeah.
for a day,
Yeah.
I would start there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you're alone in that because the starter product is just like not like I guess like isn't good. I'm just gonna say it. It's not good because for one, you should have a playable character, right? You should have a. If you make them a six, you could have them have a one ability. That's fine. Just make them a 630. That's serviceable. Make them a 630. That's all you need. You
Yeah.
just give them 8 more health, man. That's all you need. Because like,
Yeah.
say someone's favorite character is Levi, right? And they buy that Levi starter deck, and they're like, "Wow, this guy's a 615. This guy must be really cool." And you die to one hit, and it's just like, "Well, that sucks." But no,
Yeah.
it's either you have that as a learning tool, and then you have a copy of the actual set character in the starter deck as well, because you learn on the 615 guy, and then you play the actual character in your event. Again, I would just have them all be the same level as the Jin and June deck, to be honest. Like, that just makes
I
more
would too.
sense. That just makes more sense in the long run. It just does.
The other thing is too, like I couldn't imagine. So two, I guess two other small
Yeah, go for it.
points. Then one is the previous Challenger series or starter decks used to be really good. Like I think back to the God, what is his name? Lemillion versus
Oh, yeah,
Overhaul,
Overhaul. Yeah. Yeah,
or
Mirio. Yeah.
or
Toga and Ochako. Yeah.
Toga versus Ochako. Like
Yeah.
these are good decks. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, we could even argue that these two decks were probably better than most of the characters in the actual sets. I'm not saying that they need to be
Yeah,
that
I know. Yeah.
strong,
Yeah.
but at least we definitely had new people come and then they pick up one of those and they sit down and play with that night and they've won
Yeah.
the event,
Yeah.
or they've at least done well enough that makes them say, "Hey, I want to come back next week."
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I couldn't. So this dovetails into the other point, which is I couldn't imagine wanting to go to an event and then picking up the TMNT thing, saying like these are my favorite characters, and then finding out that they're so trash,
Yeah.
or that
Yeah.
character is so
Yeah.
trash or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like now, it may wet their whistle and say, "Man, I want to get one of the actual turtles that are really good or something,"
Mm-hmm.
but they shouldn't have to find out that way either.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a product that is like a feels bad product,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't serve anybody. Those two 615
Yeah,
or
the
life,
Attack on Titan
uh,
characters. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that should just be given to the store as like, hey, if you're going to do a store scramble, use this product to
Yeah.
teach new players if they want to do it.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I think it should ever be used.
Sure.
Personally,
I do.
That's all I
I,
have.
I do think the Turtles deck was a little bit of a step forward because if you remember back in the UFS days, we had exclusive cards in those decks, right? And then the Turtles deck returned with that, with the Splinter backup, a couple attacks, and something else, and I think a Foundation, where they were the exclusive cards in there. So I think that's a little bit of a step forward, I guess, for collectors more often, because I don't think any of the cards are really worth playing except for Splinter backup. But
Possibly.
maybe it's a step forward, and then maybe I've been crying out for a actual starter product for a while. Oh, the Turtles deck is reasonable, but the character is unplayable, Jay says. So the deck is actually
I
okay,
agree.
I guess. So that's good. It's a step. Now we need an actual
But
character on top of it.
so I guess to speak to the point that you're making, I think that it does the one thing that I was saying that they need to do, but it doesn't do the other thing, which is it keeps the existing player base in mind because it does have some unique cards in there that players might want to actually utilize.
Hmm.
Like the 6 diff attack, I don't think is a bad attack. I think
Yeah.
it's actually pretty cool. And then, like you said, the other two cards or other few cards that are pretty collectible or usable, possibly.
Hmm.
But it doesn't do the other thing, which is be a good product for a new player who wants to come into the game.
Yeah.
I think that that's the bare minimum that it needs to meet is like it needs to be a character that they like. It doesn't have to be competitive with Godzilla
Yeah.
or any of the other top 8, but it should at least be like C It
Yeah,
shouldn't be F tier.
it shouldn't be F tier, correct. It shouldn't be
Right.
Justin Birch pays someone $1,000 to win a regional with tier, is what it is.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's he. I think that bounty's still out with the two Attack on Titan characters. I don't know if they have to win or top, and I think he's gonna pay you like X amount of money. Yeah, it's just I think those bounties are still out there. Yeah, which is really funny that no one has tried, but no one wants to. No one wants to do that. So. All right, so this kind of dovetails into question 7. Any advice for a new player starting out in UniVersus?
Yeah, so I was going to say this earlier, but my advice for new players would be about sideboarding. So
Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of other things I could advise on, but um, one characteristic that I brought over from playing Magic for so many years is that I've learned how to really sideboard well in Magic,
Okay.
and um, it won't be like as simple as you think, because I think sometimes people just think, oh, I need this card for this matchup, so I'll throw a couple copies in there, not thinking about what they're specifically going to take out of their main deck to insert this card in.
Mm,
I try to look for like a numerical method or whatever, or I'll do like so like the sideboard is 10 cards, and then I may put in 3 of one thing that I really need access to, but then I have 3 cards in my deck that I know that are going to be slot outs specifically for slotting in this card.
okay.
So I like to, when I'm building my sideboard, I like to try to consider the things that I'm going to take out beforehand and the numbers on those as well too, and then seeing it, because like the other aspect that's like unique about this game that it won't like be applicable to other games is that you also have to be considerate about your block modifiers. And so for your block modifiers, like if I'm bringing in 3 cards that are going to do something, I'm hoping that I'm slotting out 3 of the same symbol cards,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can keep a consistent block modifier ratio. The only time I don't think in those terms is if I know that I'm playing against a deck that's almost like on one attack a zone,
Okay.
and then I might think in the opposite way. I might say, okay, I know I have extra low blocks in my sideboard. I'm going to side out 3 of these highs and then side in 3 of these lows or whatever.
Okay.
But for the most part, I know the numbers. Like if I'm going to bring in 5 cards, I already know what 5 cards I'm taking out beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing that math early on. So these are things that I've kind of like learned and transferred over from Magic to this game, and it served me pretty well.
Okay. Because I know when we talked in the pregame, like I'm trying to. I was played in an LC this weekend, and I sideboarded every match after game 1,
Yeah.
boarded. Like I sided 7 cards in against Devil Jin, and it was just like, okay, what do I take out? And I think that like making a sideboard's easy. It's what you said is figuring out what you're taking out of your main deck to bring in these pieces, because obviously we're all perfectionists. Our main decks are perfect. There's nothing wrong with them ever. And so it's kind of hard. It's finding those cards to take out to bring in those pieces that we actually need, because theoretically we can't play every card we want to, because then our decks would be 3,000 cards and we'd never get anywhere. So
I agree. Our main decks are our mother's favorite children,
they are.
and for me, the thing I've learned, and I'll use Guile for
Sure.
this.
Go for it.
Like I have Guile down to a science. Anytime I'm playing a female character against a female character, I immediately sub out all 4 of my
Nutcrackers.
nutcrackers.
Yeah.
And then I immediately sub in my 4 soul traps.
Sure.
Whether I have whether I'm playing against reversals or not,
Yeah,
it's just
sure.
like an easy sub
Yeah.
for me. But the other thing is like I kind of also know what my game plan is. So I play 4 White Houses in the sideboard. So anytime I bring in those 4, I immediately just sub out my 4 capture evildoers.
Sure.
And because they're going to be, it's a non-bow.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of already thought this plan through beforehand. So it makes sideboarding a little bit simpler in that regard. But I think that this pre-work or pre-thought has to go into your game plan beforehand,
Yeah.
well beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, guys, I'm getting the sweet tips on how to beat his Guile deck at locals now. Ha ha ha! I trapped him. Ha ha!
And now that's when the stops come in,
Yeah.
because that's the
Oh,
one thing that's been helping me
I
out.
know. We still have to play game 3 from last week, by the way. So,
Yeah, we do.
so
Yeah, we
Wednesday
do.
we got to play game 3. So, awesome. So moving on to the question that I think you were looking forward to the most to answer. Number 8. You get your choice of 2 players, can be current or retired, to pick for a team's event. Who are they?
Um.
And there could be multiple answers.
So
I'm not gonna just let
yeah.
you go for 2 people. You could, if you have like a couple sets of teams, I'm cool with that.
All right. So I'm gonna do a couple different
Okay.
versions. So the first one I would pick, it would be what I'm gonna call Team OG,
Okay.
which is the guys I've been playing with from the very beginning.
Okay.
I would pick Mike and his brother Ken.
Okay.
I would also call this a salty lineup because they are all about doing things just to make their opponents
Sure.
hate life.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna call it Team Dream Crush instead.
There you go. Team Demon. That's a good one.
So
We like that.
they love doing that. Then if I were to pick like other folks, I would probably do a team. So this would be team final round for a day, where I would
Okay.
pick you and Jacob.
Okay.
Uh,
Hell
and then
yeah.
3 of us would go out and crush some folks. And then the last team would be probably some UFS retro OGs. So it would be uh, Duckworth. God,
Shane.
what's his first name?
Shane.
Yeah, Shane.
Okay.
Shane and Rob.
Okay.
So I would pick Shane and Rob. And this would be for a pure retro
Yeah.
team
Okay.
event or whatever.
Okay.
Mostly because I love like Shane's like play style,
Yeah.
and then Rob always plays like something that's like he's probably gonna play Iori
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but those would be like my teams
Okay.
probably.
Hell yeah. We'd like
Uh,
that. Team final round
yeah.
for a day sounds sick. Hey, guys in chat, we should like make that like a sub goal, like for the final round. Like piggy bank or something. Final round for a day. It's like it's like make a wish for a child, but it's team final round for a day. So they can like it's like make a wish, but it's for final round only. So yeah, we can people who want to be final round for a day, it's like make a wish. So yeah, cool. All right, awesome. I really wish. So this is another thought too, because like talking about teams and stuff, and you are on Team Block Party. So I'm gonna kind of dovetail into that real quick before we finish the interview.
Yeah.
Why join a team, and like why now join a team?
I guess a couple reasons. One, I would have always been open to join a team
Mhm.
at any point. Now, who and which team would have always been based around like my local community or whatever, and just like it is now. The reason why I decided to join Block Party is because I play with Ben and River all the time, just like I play with you or whatever. But when we went to this event together, there was like a camaraderie
Yeah.
involved in it, and there was just like an aspect of like, hey, it felt like stress free.
Cool.
It didn't feel like
Yeah.
a big deal. It just
Yeah.
felt like it was like a natural thing.
Sure.
And I felt like if it would have been like maybe with the exception of you and Jacob, if like maybe you guys had like asked me to join final round, I think that would have also felt like stress free. No,
Yeah.
But I think that any other team would have
Yeah.
asked me. I don't think I would have been as apt to
Sure.
join. I think it has more to do with my local community is like
Yeah.
very important to me.
Okay.
And I kind of like see these guys every Wednesday. I see you every Wednesday, and it makes it easy for me to join a team like that because I feel like I'm already on that team in a sense. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
a while back when Stan made the Boar's Hatch jerseys available, I immediately bought one.
Yeah.
because I kind of assumed that maybe Boar's Hat might create a team, or we might create a
Yeah.
team, because like it feels like we have a lot of people who are aiming to make it to nationals or make it to
Yeah.
worlds or do all these things. So it felt like it was an inevitability
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, more so because like while we were there, they were like, "Hey, we're starting up new," and it felt like I'm on the ground level
Yeah.
too. That's the other
Okay.
reason
Yeah,
why.
you're in at the ground level. You're an OG block party. And like all these
Yeah.
newfangled
So
kids who joined the team, like back in my day, you know.
all their so I will say they've probably been a lot more active than I have
Yeah.
been. I've had a lot of like life stuff kind of going on.
Yeah.
A friend died,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
some other things, and I'm getting to a good place about
Okay.
it, but it's still kind of fresh. So I just kind of like not haven't been as available.
Yeah.
Also, I wasn't going to Worlds
Yeah.
because we're trying to do other things and everything. So like I figured that I would not be um, probably the best person at this juncture. But in general, when I kind of like turn my mind around to like let's start focusing on the next season or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
lock in.
And there is something to say as being a sparring partner for those people who are going to
Yeah,
Worlds. So you can also be that type of help as well, right? Like that teammate. You can be the support role where you're helping them
yeah,
test into things, or maybe you know you see a deck and they're like, hey, you see any holes, do you see any things that you could improve on it, and you can always lend your expertise. Like you're an
yeah,
old head for a reason, right? You playing the game forever, you have a certain perspective. You may not be a wildly known travel player, but you are a player who's been playing the game forever. You are a very solid character, you're a very solid player, by my opinion, and you have your opinions matter, right? Like when I talk to you about when we talk sideboards and stuff, when we're done, I take your feedback seriously because you are a good player, you know. And I just want to, I think that is something that you want to keep in your mindset. Like me, I'm not going to Glasgow or Buffalo, but I may have teammates who are going, and I have to be that type
right,
of teammate where I have to give them my full attention because that does them a disservice because I wouldn't want them to think that for me either.
yeah. I guess to your point, I guess what I will say is like my mindset is where you're at. For the most part, I've been able to do that more so with River
Hmm.
because he and I, see each other more so in person.
Yeah.
But I think that outside of Wednesdays, like I said, because of the things that are going on in my personal life, I've been less available.
Hmm.
That's the point I was trying to get at. And because I've been less available, I haven't contributed as much as some of the other people. Now, mind you, I see the Discord chat popping off all the time.
Yeah.
Like the dings are hitting me upside the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I've not been in a mental place to kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
chime in yet. Now, more so, I'm like uh, um, I'm getting back to that place now,
Okay.
and I'm very excited about that because I'm looking forward to what we can do going forward in the future. I'm very excited about that.
Awesome. Jason Chat said, but I think he's talking to me. But you think you're a bad player, so can we really trust your opinion? I come from the
Ooh,
I mean I've said that. I think I am. I have like a little bit of what am I looking at? Imposter syndrome sometimes, where I I'm good enough to hit this bar, but I'm not good enough to hit the bar above is where I want to be, because that's where I see them at, and that's where I see like the Justin Birches, the Zach Richards on the team, the Josh Moores who have topped, who have done really well. And, Colby's
right.
done really well with Rodon in the last few events he's been in, and I'm just like, I want to hit that bar, man. Like I was 33rd at Worlds. I missed by percentage points. I was not good enough to top. I was the bubble boy. I was the David Toombs, but I did not ID. I played it out. So it was just like I need to hit that. I want to be known as a great player, not just a good player. I want to be known as a great player, right? And that's just something I have to like work through myself, right? Like I can't.
I get your point. I feel like from the outside looking in, for somebody who's known you for, man, I can say like 4 or 5 plus years now or more. I feel like your only problem is that you always switch decks before
Yeah, I
the
do.
event.
Yeah, I do. I do that. Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, I feel like you're one of the best players I've played against. I
Oh well,
think that you
thanks,
make
man.
a lot of people at the shop really, really, really great to play because like what do they say? Iron sharpens iron or
Yeah,
steel
some
sharpens
steel sharpened
steel. Like
steels. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like the reason why I've seen Austin become a great player is because Austin is always fighting for his life every week
Yeah,
against
yeah,
great players,
yeah, yeah.
and so it's cool to see those things kind of happen.
Hmm.
Like even I remember when uh, not Jacob but Ryan KO God and
Yeah,
we were about at the same tier. He and I were like always like narrowly missing top eights
yeah,
in our region, and then like I could see that we both wanted it very
yeah,
bad, and but like I think that Ryan kind of like hop that hurdle because like you would go out to every like Milwaukee
yeah.
event and then like having to kind of like fight against better players
Hmm.
always gave him the opportunity to
Yeah.
get better,
Yep.
and so we saw that happen. So yeah, no, I think that you're definitely one of those. So
Thanks, man. I
stop switching
appreciate it.
decks.
Yeah, I gotta
Stop
stop
switching
switching decks.
decks.
This time, I tell you right now, I'm playing Hanji all the way to the world, and all the way to Worlds, unless something else happens. Unless there's
I'm just
like
gonna
a,
tell chat to hold you accountable to that.
and I mean, I said I was gonna play Keyleth all year, and I didn't do that, so whatever. But pour one out
Well,
for the girl though. She,
that was never an
that
honest
was never an honest thing,
take.
anyways. We know that. So, moving on. Question 9. It could be either retro or standard. I'll take either as an acceptable answer. What's your favorite current deck right now?
I'm just gonna go with standard for
Okay.
now. My first favorite current deck is the Hawks deck I've been playing.
Okay.
I love that Hawks deck. Although this is another great example to say that the format kind of like adapts pretty well. I think that the Hawks deck has already been figured out and people already know how to beat it pretty easily.
Hmm.
But like the event where it like top eighted and like narrowly won the event. Um, I want to say that was an OGC regional or whatever, or OCG, whatever. You know which
OCE.
one?
Yeah, Oceania. Yeah,
OCE.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the OCE regional where those two Hawks players topped with a massive mutant machine. That deck is so fun to play,
Hmm.
and it's so cool. And it has tricks for like almost every deck in the format,
Hmm.
but it's also easily beatable if you have the right tech pieces or
Correct.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's one of those things where like I get to do something fun. Also, it's just I get to see a good symbol character actually doing well,
that's that's the real
and
answer, everybody. Don't let him fool you.
yeah,
That's the real answer.
I want to. It's like sometimes like I play a good symbol character just as like to rebel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we exist. But yeah, like it just kind of feels like it's the MHA format, kind of like doing its last dying embers
Yeah.
of I belong in the format. And I
Sure.
know Pony's a real thing. But Pony doesn't feel like an MHA deck. It feels like an Attack on
Like
Titan deck
character,
or
yeah,
whatever.
that's what it feels
Yeah,
like. Yeah, yeah, it feels like an Attack on Titan deck. That's for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
So
like
yeah, that's my favorite deck currently.
cause I
Yeah,
faced that. Jason Chat says fake symbol along with the all symbol. He's kind of right. But anywho, but I think because we played last week and we went 3 games and like I said, I cited in answers and I didn't see him obviously, and
yeah,
you just looped. You got learning the standards or whatever the turtle card is. What is it? Setting the standards? I don't remember what it's called.
yeah.
You
It's
set
set in the
yeah,
standards.
setting the standards. All your feathers were 4/4 and they were 4/6, and then eventually I just died because you played like 7 of them, and
Yeah,
I can't DR all of them, and I just didn't have the filled with doubt to stop that and then to get rid of your massive mutant machines, and stuff like that. It's
right.
things can adapt to things. It's just it takes time for people to adapt and all that. So yeah, but that deck is sick. That deck is way cooler in action than the Devil Jin deck because that Devil Jin deck sucks. I don't like that deck. That deck is evil and mean.
I've
And
not actually seen what it does. I imagine it does similar things, but I've not seen it in
it
action.
does things faster because Devil Jin can just put in an attack. Yeah, that Devil Jin deck. Man, I cited 7 pieces against Corey. Ugh, it's a pain in the butt, man. But I died. Yeah. Oh, Evil mentioned.
Wait,
Yeah,
because
the
you can get massive mutant machine going on your first attack with Devil Jin, huh?
second
If your
attack.
first attack,
It's your second
oh,
attack because you play equipment
wait,
heist. You play
what
your
is
you
is the Mighty Blitz?
yeah you can mighty blitz. Yeah, if you're playing on fire or chaos. Yeah, but I think most of them aren't playing mighty blitz. I don't know. I'm not sure. But you could do mighty blitz on your first move, then bring one in and then do it. Yeah, you could get it if you play mighty blitz. Yeah, you can do it on your first attack. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what. See, I've
Oh,
never seen any stock
nope.
lists.
You can also just check an attack with Devil Jin and then put it in and then do it. Yeah, you could just check an attack on your first attack and then you can go off on turn one, on your first
Oh, so
move.
you don't even need Mighty Blitz.
Nah.
You could just be gross
Hmm.
because Devil Jin is a gross.
Yeah, because Devil Jin's really gross. Yes, that man is crazy good, crazy good.
All right.
All right, awesome. So as we wrap up, um, before we get to the final question, I just want to make sure everyone realizes. I told them I would do this. Don't forget about the Stark Dark Invitational. It's an open series. It's November 1st and November 2nd down in Fairview Heights, Illinois, at Impact Gaming Center. They're gonna have a 2,500 standard purse for a main event, and then I think it's like 500 or 250 for retro the next day, and there's product and stuff. If you could scan the QR code, it's really small on the screen. Do that, but check it out. They're trying to get a lot of hype and buzz for it. Go see it if you can. I won't be there, unfortunately. I got plans that weekend, and yeah. So there. That's my spiel, and I'll be doing that all the way up until they do their event. So, question 10. Any shout-outs?
Oh, a lot. But I want to thank my mom and dad for no.
I was so hoping it was real. I was so hoping it was real. I thought you were gonna be like,
for me,
then I want to thank God and Jesus. And I've been like, I'm right here, son. Peace be with you.
actually, like I do thank my wife and my
Yeah.
daughter because they're super supportive of like me going out to play,
Hell
and
yeah.
then like as I do well or do an event or whatever, they're like always rooting for me. So
Cool.
that's really cool.
That's awesome.
But in the community, I guess I'll all the guys at Boar's Hat, Stan, River, Austin, Spence, Trent, I know I'm missing some guys.
River.
But, I think I said.
Did you say River?
But if not,
River.
I'll re-up on River.
Yeah, re-up on
Um,
River.
and then,
Yeah.
and then like even the folks who don't get to make it out there that often, Rob,
Mhm.
Tyler, Ben, you know,
Marco.
God, I know
Marco,
there's
Nathan.
Marco, Nate,
Yeah.
Monty. That's what I was
Monty.
missing.
There we go. We haven't seen
Yeah.
Monty in a while.
Um,
Hopefully he's all good. So.
We haven't. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking about
Yeah.
too. But so all those guys, also like the guys who come down from Milwaukee,
Yeah.
Sam, Cole, Ryan, Jacob, like everybody from the Milwaukee crew. Tam for giving me my sweet Kiryu.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And Jacob, my homie, and Paul Butler, the other Paul.
Yeah, the other
there's
Paul.
no-
This is Paul Baker, not Paul Butler, like I said in the opening.
There's no bad Paul.
There is no bad Paul, because we also have Paul Casagrande, Paul Big House, on Team Final Round, and he's one of the best judges around, if not the best judge. So Paul Casagrande, Paul Big House, we love you too. All Pauls are great.
All Paul Austin. I forgot Austin.
Austin,
But so like, just appreciate everybody in the community. I love seeing folks when I go out. Corey and what's our homie from Milwaukee area?
Which one?
Barrett?
There's a lot of
Not
them.
Barrett. Not no. I'm sorry. He's like at the Green Bay area.
Oh,
He has to come down
about
from-
Will and Garrison?
Garrison.
Yeah,
That's the other homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So appreciate all of them. It's been in this game for a minute now,
Yeah.
and since like the UFS days, I appreciate everybody from that era into this era.
Hell yeah.
I love the game. I want to see it continue. Guile is the best character, and I'm just waiting to win some type of event, a wish event or something, so that you guys can see me recreated
make
and re-immortalized as Guile.
just make Guile, just reprint him as he is. You know, I think you could
Yes.
probably give him like maybe 3 or 4 more health. I think he'll be okay. You know,
I think so
yeah.
too.
Uh
I got some tricks
oh.
for what I would do with my version of Guile. But
So
yeah. Anyway.
so Jason Chat says, what about Paul Phoenix? Does he rank as a cool Paul or not?
Yeah, I love Paul Phoenix.
Okay, then there you
like
go.
I said,
Chase.
there are no bad
Balls.
Pauls. Yeah.
We love it. All right, so this was great. Thanks for coming on, and I appreciate you. You know, I know I sent you the questions last minute yesterday, so I'm glad. Thanks for being a good sport about it. I'm really bad at doing things I'm going to say that I'm going to do, but I appreciate you and thank you for coming on and just hanging out with me for a few hours outside of Wednesday, which is kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone in
I
chat.
love it.
I want to say thanks again. I'm not going to end the stream currently right now, but I'm just going to kind of chit chat for a little bit and then probably go. Zach and Josh, are you guys streaming tonight so I can raid you? Do you know? Chat? Zach said that, damn, when he was on, he should have done the Varsity Blues speech. You know, I just want to, I just want to thank God. Zach Richards is just one man. I mean, it's your time. You could do whatever you want with it. You don't have to say the standardized answer. If you want to say no, I don't want to say hi to anybody. You don't have to. But whatever.
Yeah.
Zach says he's not streaming, so. But so again, I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit those bells for notifications for the YouTube video. We're gonna try to stream Wednesday and Friday from the shop. Their Wi-Fi's been kind of bonky, so I really would like to stream the LC because we streamed Impact's LC and seemed like people really enjoyed it because there was nothing going on for the game. But yeah, cool. All right.
Well, I appreciate you, Chris.
Yeah.
Everybody, nice to meet you. If we've not met before, if we're at an event together, just come up, say what's up to me.
Yeah, go say hi to him.
Yeah, super chill.
Cool.
All right.
Right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Later.
I'm gonna go raid someone. So.